Well, we've got a new party member, so you know what I've got to go do. Oh. I have a... Wait, but...
The Templars of the Chantry stand ready, Grey Warden.
Yeah, I wasn't expecting to see a mage.
There are always areas to improve on, Grey
And they
Warden.
do still need runes.
The
okay.
most useful for my talents are runes. The Templars of the Chantry stand ready, Grey Warden. Not all perished in the tower, Grey Warden, and those that remain are highly unlikely to further test the Chantry's wrath.
You speak more like a... Never mind. Alright, Gwen.
Oh, it's been a long day. Rest would be welcome. Yes, of course. I am just a little weary. As you may have noticed, I'm no spring chicken. Thank you. You're very kind to say so. But in all honesty, I do not know how many years I have left in me. I have lived for such a long time, but there is always something else to do. And I have to keep going in order to do it. I think I will be glad when I am done. Oh, I don't know. I really don't.
Yeah, you and your fade
Have
spirit.
you encountered many abominations, apart from the ones in the Circle Tower? Ah, yes, Connor, of course. The first time I saw an abomination, my blood turned to ice. It was months before the nightmares stopped. It was the knowledge that I could easily become one of them that frightened me the most.
Yeah, it's the fear that gets you, though.
One slip. All it takes is one slip, and everything you are is simply gone. Replaced by madness. And there is no turning back, or at least that's what they say. Of late, I have begun to wonder if there is any way an abomination can be cured. Or if a mage could be so possessed and still retain their sanity, their humanity. Yes, it is madness and cruelty that define abominations.
You're not an
If
abomination,
those are lacking,
Wynn.
if the mage remembers the person they truly are, then they are not an abomination. I never saw that. Thank you for showing me another way of looking at it.
You're welcome.
You're quite taken with each other, aren't you?
Oh.
Well, she's hardly discreet.
There is
the way
that.
she looks at you, it's as though she's completely forgotten there's anything of you above the waist.
Oh, unfortunately, you're right, Wynn. Oh. No, I am not gonna say 3, but...
I've noticed your blossoming relationship, and I wanted to ask you where you thought it was going. She is a cunning woman, a maleficar. She will use you for her own ends.
She will. I don't know if I'd say I trust her.
I am telling you what I see and what my instincts tell me. And even if the feelings you share are genuine, this affair may not be the best thing for either of you. You are a Grey Warden. You have responsibilities which supersede your personal desires. Love is ultimately selfish. It demands that one be devoted to a single person who may fully occupy one's mind and heart to the exclusion of all else. A Grey Warden cannot afford to be selfish. You may be forced to make a choice between saving your love and saving everyone else. And then what would you do? Nothing is certain. Not in these times. You cannot take anything for granted. I want you to be aware of this. If you insist, I have given my advice. Do with it what you will.
Well, I didn't anticipate she'd be happy with that response, but it's fitting.
Is there something you need? I will answer to the best of my ability. So many are gone. They will need new enchanters. Perhaps they will look to Orlais or Antiva. It will be difficult for a while, but I have no doubt that the Circle will recover. People don't become mages. They are born mages. The talent just surfaces later. But you are asking how I ended up at the Circle. I was brought there by the Templars, just like many of the other apprentices. I don't remember very much. I was very young then. I didn't have a family. I never knew my real parents. My earliest memory was of hiding in a hayloft on a farm, trying to keep warm. I was found, and the farmer's wife was kind enough not to send me away. But they had children of their own, and I was never made to feel welcome. The eldest son was the worst. He was always calling me a stray, and throwing anything he could get his hands on at me. And I don't know how it happened, but one day, he just found his hair on fire. Fortunately, there was a large trough nearby.
Ah, you did what Kaelin would.
He ran screaming, dripping head and all, to his mother. I was shut up in the barn, with a bowl of water and a crust of hard bread. The Templars arrived several mornings later. One of them ignored me, but the other was kind to me. He gave me sweets, and even sat me on his shoulders once, when I wanted to look over a high wall that ran along the road. I'll never forget the moment the Templars led me into the entrance hall of the tower. I had never seen anything so grand in my life. I stopped being afraid then. I knew I was home. Well, that's about all there is to my tale. That's how I came to the Circle. I would be lying if I said it was easy. First, there were rules, and we were constantly watched to make sure we behaved appropriately. Then there was the study of magic. We had to cast the spells just so, control the effects completely. A single word spoken incorrectly, a gesture out of sync, and lack of focus. And we needed to have perfect focus, or we would be in danger. From Fade spirits. If we were careless, they would enter our minds, and we would become abominations. Without the Circle and my mentors, I would not have been where I am today. And there was joy in life at the Circle. The joys of fellowship, in knowing that you were not alone in your struggles. In spite of everything, I was happy in the tower, and I loved it.
Yeah, I don't know if I have any gifts that are specifically for her with me. I know who some of these are for, but it's not her. I have anything specifically for you. Your disposition doesn't need help. This. You have excellent taste. I know. That looks fine indeed. I'm gonna have to check in with both of them. How dear of you. Thank you so... I don't have pastries. I think you like paintings, but I'm not sure. Very nice indeed. That's good. Yes. Two of those were helpful. Well, they were all helpful. Two of those were actually productive. Fantastic. I did your little side quest up there.
Look at you. Your weary stance. The dark circles under your
Oh,
eyes.
no.
Poor man. All this constant walking has gotten to you. Do you know what you need?
But I enjoy the conversations with him so much.
I'm thinking more
I
drastic
know
measures
you're
are called
thinking of
for, in
something
fact.
else, Zev.
My thought is this. We retire to your tent and I show you the sort of massage skills that one only learns growing up in an Antivan whorehouse.
Do you know what Morrigan would do to you if she heard you propositioning me? Actually, I think he does, and I think that would entertain him.
Why? Because you are a man? Surely
That's
we are
not
past
why.
such superficial definitions. We travel together, do battle together. Is there any reason we may not also take pleasure in each other's company? Ah, my mistake. Ha, say no more then. I take it all back.
That can be recovered, but anytime you turn someone down, there's a massive blow to their disposition. Well, their ego, and hence their disposition. But you have to get friendly enough for them to want to proposition you, for them to be useful.
Don't know if...
What say you? By all means.
I don't have anything else yet, but... Oh, actually... Yeah, we'll have to deal with that later. Think you have anything else useful to say?
I got a moment. Sure. What about? All right. All right then.
Everyone else? Dealt with all their personal drama, for the most part. So, now... I need to go get stuff out of storage, damn it. I do want to deal with Morgan's... I need to deal with Plymouth, but... I have other business as well. Oh, actually... I forgot a thing. You can have the superior set. So that... There. Here's that.
Yes.
Yes, indeed. There's so many reasons to overlook these things. Still need to do the puppy. I know some of those are not for her. Few for low gain. But alright. A generous gift. Thank you ever so much. Let's start. A generous gift. Alright. Oh, marvelous. I heard that scribble. That, well,
What's on your mind?
There we go.
Oh, yes, and thank you for asking. I'm feeling much better today. Well, thank you for your kindness, my dear. It certainly warms these rickety old bones.
I don't know that that's the kind of book she would enjoy. These ones are hers. Let's start with the bad thing. That is nice. Thank you. A generous gift. Thank you ever so much. Okay, they've been used, but they don't become a thing. So, alright, then I can just be rid of them. I don't know. I don't think either of those are the kind of book you'd enjoy. Oh, marvelous. Oh. Didn't expect that. Oh, marvelous. You actually like that. Huh. I think the things that I have left are piddly things no matter who I give them to. So, it might be enough to push her over. Actually, double check that first.
Unexpected. Thank you.
Okay. Ooh. Now, her disposition can't go up anymore, and I think these are all just little piddly things. So, most kind. One at a time. Until she hits that bracket. Most kind. Most kind. Most kind. Most kind. Please tell me that's actually going to be enough. Most kind. Damn it. Now I'm one shy. At least I'm pretty sure I'm one shy. Damn. Alright. Only the novice ones. Anything else?
You are wise to invest in the effectiveness
Of my army, yes, yes.
of your followers.
Followers, whatever. Well, sift through what people are wearing now that I have all the people. With one wibbly caveat. And then sell the extra gear. And I'll spare you. Well, now that that's done, I have a couple of runes put away. And something that should give her that 1 point. I could sell those, but I'm not going to.
You are wise to invest
And just
in the
a little bit
effectiveness
shy
of your followers.
of what I need there. Now, he had a nice simple thing that I could. Most kind. What's on your mind? Damn. I will answer to the best of my ability. Alright. Fine. Be that way. Well, it rearrange the gear and stuff. So,
Oh, right. I know what triggers her talking. Well,
Yes.
Yes, indeed.
as much as I like Zev and having him with me, oh, I don't know where I actually, other than there, I don't have anywhere in particular I need to go. But there are things that I can do here now that the plot is over. But I think this is the fight she needs to get in for me to actually.
I'm sensing more dark.
And none of them are set up properly. But none of these are a big enough problem.
Dark spawn. Fight. One. Time.
That. Those will actually help. You might as well do that.
I am ready.
What else have we got?
Yeah, that's right. What did I tell you?
Leave it.
I am yours.
I am aware. Alright. So. Loot, loot, loot.
See there? That's a trap.
Alistair, you tripped one.
And so I shall.
But I get experience for it.
As you desire. Delighted. And so I shall.
This is what I needed.
I fell. For a moment there, I thought I thought it was all over. Everything. I will explain everything when we are back at camp.
There we go.
Now is not the time.
If I can sell enough stuff.
You really killed all those abominations?
Yes, yes.
I'm sure you need
And
supplies
I have
after
that
that,
conversation
don't
with
you?
you again. little bit more to sell. I don't think it'll get me to where I need to be. But it doesn't hurt to try. I don't know if amethysts are on that list. I actually do need to change her thing because she's going to consume far too many of those otherwise. How much is the thing I want? 106. I gave the Earl's men too much money, apparently. That's alright.
I think I owe you an explanation for what happened earlier. You should know that something happened to me at the tower before you came along. Remember my apprentice, Petra? She encountered a demon in the tower. It would have killed her had I not intervened. I saved her life that day, but I did not survive that encounter with the demon. Let me explain fully. I engaged a very powerful demon to rescue Petra. It sapped me of all my energy and will and left me drained. It took everything I had to defeat it. And when I was done, I no longer had the strength to keep my heart beating. I remember my life ebbing away. Everything receded from me. Sound, light. I remember being enveloped in complete, impenetrable darkness. And then I sensed a presence enfolding me and cradling me, whispering quietly to me. The sensation is impossible to describe. I was being held back, firmly but gently, as a mother would a child eager to slip from her grasp. I felt life and warmth flowing through my veins again. I began to be aware of small sounds and the discomfort of my hip pressing into the cold stone of the tower floor. The Fade contains spirits both benevolent and malicious. The benevolent spirits seldom make themselves known, because they want nothing from mortals, unlike the demons. It was one of these spirits that saved me. Without it, I would be dead. And it has not left me. It is with me, even now, bonded to me. You see, I am supposed to be dead. It is the spirit that is keeping me in this world. And this is not the way of things. Perhaps the spirit did not expect this, but it is weakening gradually. I am living on borrowed time. Yes, that we will. What's on your mind? I have always had an affinity for the spirits of the Fade. As a child, I never feared my dreams because I knew they were there. I could sense the demons, too, and their presence frightened me. It was the kindly spirits of the Fade that took the fear from me. I've always been able to feel the spirits, even if I never saw them. And as I nurtured my talent in the circle, I became more sensitive. I began to notice every time I was in the Fade, whether it was in a dream or in magical practice, that I was being watched. I suppose they must. It is these benevolent spirits that create our dream worlds in the Fade. Sometimes I would see it, a glowing, nebulous form. Most times I would just feel its presence, gentle and comforting, but somehow alien. I think it is a spirit of faith. They have never been seen before, and perhaps I am wrong. But something tells me I'm not. It always felt like the same entity. This one spirit was curious about me, and was guarding me, for want of a better word. There were times when I was in the Fade that it seemed to stretch forth to shield me, keeping me safe. And I think it gave me strength in my most terrible battles, Ostagar being one of them. I don't know why I was chosen. Perhaps it knew that there was something more that lay in store for me. I like to think that I was given a rare chance. and I'm going to make the best of the time so generously given to me. I will not lie motionless in a bed with coverlets up to my chin, waiting for death to claim me. That is not the death for me. And so I will fight alongside the Grey Warden, and help prepare him for the task that is yet before him. So you had better listen to me, because I swear, if I should fall before the end and you don't seem to be doing things properly, I'll get up again to give you a good finger-wagging. You know, I think you'll be all right, even without my help.
Except for that ugly Morrigan business. Though she does change her mind about that.
What's on your mind? Cure
Cure is
me?
not the right
What,
word.
am I sick now? Even you know that you cannot cure the dead. And I'm not the only one dying. You are too. I'm just more efficient about it. Ah, child. Your concern is heartwarming. But death comes to everyone, and it is not something to fear. People fear not death, but having life taken from them. Many waste the life given to them, occupying themselves with things that do not matter. When the end comes, they say they did not have time enough to spend with loved ones, to fulfill dreams, to go on adventures they only talked about. But why should you fear death if you are happy with the life you have led? If you can look back on everything and say, yes, I am content. It is enough.
Never enough.
I think I've led a good life, a full life, and I, for one, am not afraid of death.
You have
whatever
regrets,
it may
though.
bring. They say that when you die, your spirit travels through the fade and returns to the Maker. And after that, we'll see, won't we? What's on your mind?
Finally.
I try not to dwell too much on the mistakes of my past. of
Because I
which
know
there
where that
are
one
many.
is.
I would go quite mad if I did that. But I do have one regret. The greatest misstep of my life. Made even more grave because it had dire consequences for someone else. Years ago, I was assigned as mentor to a lad, Anarin. He was my first apprentice. Anarin was an elf, raised in one of the elven alienages, and he was very mistrustful of humans, especially humans in authority.
Can't blame him for that.
All he knew of the humans was what he had seen in the alienage. He was very wary of us. What Anarin needed was time. Time to get used to his new home. Time to emerge from his shell, so we could build a rapport. I gave him no such time. I was young and arrogant. He is a mage, I thought. He needs to grow up and act like one. I expected too much from him, too quickly. I gave no consideration to his origin or his feelings, and he retreated further from me. All I could think of was how stubborn he was, how he was throwing away all his talent and his potential, just to be difficult. Oh, age and wisdom have mellowed me. I was quite different back then. Much more unforgiving. You cannot plant crops in the cold, wintry ground. You cannot teach a student who is closed off and unresponsive. Patience is what is needed, and I learned that too late to help him. Anarin ran away from the circle one night. I had berated him over some trivial, ridiculous matter that I no longer remember. I drove him away because of something utterly unimportant. He was a child, 14 at the time of his leaving. They had his phylactery, and they hunted him down. The phylactery is a vial of blood taken from a mage. But blood is connected to life, and your blood can be used to track you down. They called him Maleficar, a mage who practices forbidden magic, deserving of death. He was a child, misunderstood and lost. I begged the Templars to tell me if he suffered, if they gave him a quick death. I got no answers from them. I was his mentor, and they wouldn't even tell me what became of him. I should have known better. I had the best mentors. They were kind, compassionate. Why didn't I learn from them? I failed in Aaron. All I had to do was listen to him. He would try to talk to me, and I would tell him to concentrate on his spells. He talked about the alienage sometimes, and the Dalish. He always
There's
talked
your
about
hint.
looking for the Dalish elves. The Templars are well trained and thorough. That he still lives, it would be a vain hope. The apprentices that came after Anarin benefited greatly from the lessons I learned from him. In a sense, he was my teacher, and I his student. And there it is. My story, my one greatest regret.
And I know how to clear that up.
I do. But I did promise a particular thing. Oh, I promised a particular thing. And you can't be there for it. Meaning you can. Yeah, I'm not gonna swap that out. Keep that. Lots and lots of magey business. But for now,
Yes, yes, yes.
hunting we will go.
Hey. Unless. Come play with me.
It appears we
Yep. Oh, I didn't level people. Start with these.
will fight me like one at a time.
You're fun. I'm gonna tell you to do that. Cast that.
What now?
Follow me all you want. Protect yourself. You'll be fine. You'll be fine. You.
As you desire.
Why do they You'll know how to fight.
Hands up.
Now this is more like music.
There's still somebody. There are multiple somebodies. Come play with me.
Delighted. Of course.
Another foe fallen!
There we go.
That was interesting. And draining. I called forth the spirit that sustains me, so that it could lend us aid. I did not realize it would take this much out of me. It seemed a good idea at the time, if a little rash. I think it may have weakened the spirit a little. Well, that's certainly conceivable. I suppose I shouldn't be using that particular trick to entertain children at parties. I promise I'll be careful. And thank you. Your concern is touching.
There's that.
And so I shall.
Do have to change that. Simply because she's going to chug too many too quickly if I don't. Could stockpile them, but
Delighted.
then it would just take me longer to buy that one thing that I want.
And so I shall. And so I shall.
Alright. I think that's everything there.
Let's take a look at you. Damage dealt by piercing weapons, like the ones he's using.
Of course.
Lots and lots of magey business.
We all have our stuff going. Alright, Flemeth. Let's get this over with, shall we?
And so you return. Lovely Morrigan has at last found someone willing to dance to her tune. Such enchanting music she plays, wouldn't you say? Which one, I wonder? What has Morrigan told you? What little plan has she hatched this time? That she does. The question is, do you? Ah, but it is an old, old story. One that Flemeth has heard before, and even told. Let us skip right to the ending, shall we? Do you slay the old wretch as Morrigan bids, or does the tale take a different turn? It is a dance poor Flemeth knows well. Let us see if she remembers the steps. Come, she will earn what she takes. I'd have it no other way.
Yeah. Dragon Slayer. You.
So I shall.
Great. Do you have the spell that'll pick him up? You do. Well, this is one that's Not really. A successful thing to program, so. Oh, you're getting up. Now.
Of course.
I should like a trophy!
Let's do that. And so I shall.
Damn it, Zev. That's what I get for having you in the take the good kills from me. Ha. But you do your job. Yeah, no. She's already quite fond of me, but that's okay. That's okay. From here. Don't actually need to be over here. But just in case there's follow-up dialogue, I do like to be close. Let's change that. That back on you.
Mother's real grimoire, is it? I am glad you were able to find it after all. My thanks for retrieving it. I shall begin studying it immediately and unlock the power that it holds.
You will.
I wish to ask a question of you. I wish to know your opinion of love.
Oh, it's a trap. It's a trap.
You and I have been intimate, for one. We have been close for some time now. You are
Oh, you're so
impressive
awkward, dear.
in many ways, and you even protected me from Flemeth without hope of reward. I feel anxious when
Aw.
I look upon you. I dislike this sense of dependency. 'Tis a weakness I abhor. If this is love, I wish to ascertain that you do not feel the same. No, that's not what I'm saying. You need to pay attention.
I was.
What I'm saying is that I have been foolish. I have allowed myself to become too close. This is a weakness. You are not listening to me. Do not be such a fool. This is for your own good. I would
Right.
not... I am not like other women.
I am not worth your distraction, and you are not worth mine. You are impossible.
Yup.
Have it your way, but I will tell you truly now. You will regret it in the end.
Yeah, but there's this options for that. Anything else?
Your desire? So, full of questions, are you? Now I have enough time to study Mother's grimoire to find a way to prevent her from stealing my body in the future. For she will be back. One day, I have no doubt of that. And if I cannot protect myself, one day I will track her down again in whatever body she inhabits, and she will die again and again if need be. But there is no need to think of such things now. I have you to thank for saving me, so let us return to the task of dealing with the Darkspawn, no?
Oh, let's be sappy about it.
You should not be so... You have no idea what will happen in days to come to make such promises. Let us go. There is much to be done before... There is still much to be done.
And she can't like me any more than she already does, so... Next time, we get to go resolve Wynn's baggage.